Okay, so in this tutorial I'm just going to show you how to make a motion tween of a bouncing ball. Here's the example you seen earlier, and here's how it works in Flash. So if I scroll the playhead, this little box here is called the playhead. You can just grab this playhead and move it across. You'll see it's actually bouncing up and down all the way to the end. I've added keyframes, so these black dots on the timeline are keyframes. The arrow that goes from the black dot to the next section, that's called a tween. In this case it's a classic tween. And we just scroll here. Looks a bit complicated, it's a bit easier than what it looks though. So let's go through step one. Step one will be how to create the basic path. So in this example we've done a lot of the work for you. This is what you'll be downloading. So the ball will just go from here down to here. Now that's not a bouncing ball, so how do we create a bouncing ball is we actually have to draw the path in. The best tool to draw the path in is the pen tool. First thing we need to do is we click into the guide layer here. We've got to make sure we click into here, otherwise it doesn't work. And we grab this tool here, the pen tool. If this box doesn't come up, you simply go here. There's this box here that says tools. If that isn't selected, click that and that'll turn up. Or the other time it mightn't turn up is if you have that on the wrong one. Make sure it's on classic. Here we go, it's on classic. We're right. So we've got our tools here, and I've got to grab the pen tool. What we do with the pen tool is we click here, that first square here. We've got to make it look like a basketball, so it's got to come down. I'm going to come down on this first line here. Click. I might go up by that much. Come down again. Each time it's a bit narrow, about half the height. Click. About half the height again. Click. Click. And we'll finish up just there. So now we've created a path. That's fine, but a basketball doesn't move like that in reality. So what we have to do is we have to do something to make this path look a bit more realistic. Now I talk about hills and valleys. So how we create that shape is we come here back to the pen tool, we hold that down, we go to this convert anchor tool. Now if you've done some work in Illustrator, you'll recognize this. We're doing vector drawing at the moment. So I click onto this and make sure about that'll do. A bit of a hill. You can be a lot more accurate with yours, you'll have more time. So I click this right here. So that looks more like the path for the ball will work, and just at the start we can just put a bit of a slant on like that. That's our path. The ball will come down here. Now that's all fine, but let's have a look what happens if I drag the playhead down. It'll actually work. Only to there. Alright, now the reason it works down to there, if we go to the end frame, we've got to make sure at the end frame the ball has to be right at the very end. So we've got to make sure the end frame, the ball is there. Let's have a look to see if that worked, and it did. So at the start, make sure that the ball is on the frame there, on the line there, right on the line. It'll actually snap to the line. And the other thing is make sure at the end it's also snapped to the line. Okay, so that's basically how you do it. So it's a few steps involved, and your teacher will help you if you're getting a bit stuck on some of the other steps. First thing is we use the pen tool. We select basically the shapes from the points. We convert anchor tool. That gives us our hills and the valleys. Make sure we do all this in the guide layer. Make sure it appears in that layer. And the next thing is we use the selection tool to make sure we actually drag that to where it should go. That'll do for this tutorial.